Welcome to episode number 11 of the Fit Traveler video blog. Today we're talking about how to eat lunch or healthy options for eating lunch while you're traveling. This is one of the biggest challenges that business travelers have, is just eating out in general because every meal is out. Lunches seem to be a little bit more difficult because you're on the go, you're between meetings, you probably haven't planned it, you're trying to do something quick. Maybe you're trying to get something and grab in the car. It just seems to be a lot more difficult than even dinners are. When you're not traveling, when you're at home, for those of you who get to spend some time at home or maybe work locally, you at least have the option to bring lunch from home. You get to plan out your week. You can do some meal prep. You can do those things. Or for business travelers, for those rare days that you are in town, you can plan for that. And that doesn't mean you make healthy options. That doesn't mean it's easy to eat healthier when you're at home, but you do have those options to prep. Business travelers don't. When you wake up in a hotel room, you don't really have any options to take your lunch with you that day, assuming you're on the road for a couple of days. So it gets a little bit more challenging. I have a lot of rules, probably too many rules, drives my family crazy, I understand. But I've started with 3 simple rules on how to guide you to healthy lunch options when you're traveling and when you're on the road. Rule number 1 is just don't go any place that has drive-thrus. This is a great rule in general because it'll keep you away from so many of those places that are going to lead you to bad choices. I do have some exceptions to this. And they continue to grow as more options have drive-thrus. My number 1 exception is I do a lot of smoothies for lunch, and now there's just an explosion of smoothie shops that have drive-thrus. So I do frequent the smoothie drive-thru. The other and a little bit less frequent exception for me is Starbucks actually has some decent bistro boxes, the little protein boxes with fruit and hard-boiled egg and that kind of thing. So I will occasionally grab lunch from a Starbucks drive-thru, getting one of those bistro boxes, a little bit more infrequent. And there's more options coming up. I mean, healthy eating is becoming more and more popular and more needed, and the fast casual restaurants are realizing that. And so some places that historically would not have had drive-thrus are getting them now. But in general, if you know what I'm talking about the drive-thrus, just stay away from drive-thrus. That'll limit some of your unhealthy lunch options. The second rule is I just don't eat anything fried. If you just make it a rule, I don't eat anything fried, even if it's just at lunch, then you're gonna at least do away with French fries and some things, that fried chicken tenders, things like that. Just do away with fried food. That doesn't take much explanation, and there's really no exceptions to that. It's gonna help you make healthier choices. Rule number 3 is make a no bread rule. This is difficult. I know, I understand. Bread is one of the great things, and giving it up is no fun. I actually am a fan of bread. I believe, there's right types of bread in the right portion, eaten at the right times of day, based on your activity, is a good thing. I'm a fan of bread. But most of the lunch places that you go to, they don't have great bread options. They give you way too much bread, and sandwiches just become the convenient choice. And it's so easy to grab a sandwich and take with you. And so now you're talking about doing that today and realizing how easy and convenient it is, and then it turns into tomorrow and it becomes a habit. And really too much of any kind of bread is going to get you into a tough spot. So if you can just adopt a rule of no bread at lunch, it's going to eliminate, again, a lot more options that could get you into trouble. Now, stick with those 3 rules to start. I have a long list of rules. You don't want to hear them all. And if you tried to go from not a great eating lifestyle for lunch into all these rules, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to give up. It makes things hard. So start with these 3. We can add a couple more as we go. And then you just have to use some of the knowledge that you have, some of the common sense that you have, understanding that just because you order a salad, when you dump Caesar dressing or any kind of dressing on it, that salad is no longer healthy. Or you put a bunch of cheese in it or a bunch of croutons, that salad is no longer the healthy salad that you thought. And there's other things that you can go wrong in following these 3 rules. It still opens up a lot of options that you want to stay away from. But start with those 3 rules. And I think that it'll really help you out. Again, it's no drive-thrus, no fried food, no bread. Try that for a little while for your eating out rules. Normally I'm talking to business travelers. This is a time of year where all of us are traveling. So as you're on the road, as you're eating out, try to stick with those 3 rules at least at lunch. Let me know how it goes. If you've got additional tips that we can share with everybody, please send them to me. You can leave comments on our written blog at fit1440.com. You can send me an email at john@fit1440.com. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at fit1440. Thanks for your continued support and following us. I look forward to hearing from you.